How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. How's it going, Todd? How's it going, Mark? What are you guys up to tonight? Got Kenny in here tonight? These lights are kind of bright, it seems like, in here tonight compared to normal. How's it going, Spurfy and Jeff Craig? How are you guys doing? Perry Dunn? Anybody been out fishing? You guys getting ice yet down there in the southern part of the state yet? I know it's about to warm up here. I assume it is for you guys too. But we got a little bit of ice up here. How's it going, Dells? Fish Lovely Peterson. Just starting to skim over. Yeah, it'll probably get ruined here, I'm guessing. I don't know what the weather is like down there by you guys compared to what it is up here, but it's going to get warm here the next few days. And yeah, meh, it ain't going to screw up too much, I don't think. It's only going to last a couple, 2 or 3 days. But yeah, then after, I think starting Sunday, it's going to really start cooling down and making some good ice then. Every day is the highs in the 20s then, and lows in the teens. But there is a couple days where there's a chance of snow next weekend, which could hinder the ice building a little bit. I think the one day's a chance of up to 3 inches, so it ain't going to be, too much out there that, it's going to ruin things for a while. Oh, I saw some guys set some tip ups. Oh, but they were staying out short, maybe 2 inches out there. Okay. Hey, that's not bad for where you guys are at, 2 inches. Um, we got more than that here for sure, but a lot of places there's only 2 inches. One of the spots that I do want to hit here pretty soon, one of my early ice spots. I don't know why there's such a glow on here tonight. It's light above me. Turn that off, but then I feel like you guys won't see me very well. Yeah, that only had 2 inches the other day, so um, have to wait a little bit on that yet. Maybe another week or so. I'm sure I could get out there. Murphy, just some small ponds iced up here in Madison. No ice on the big lakes. In the chain, I think Upper Mud Lake has some skim over. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely slower this year, that's for sure. 50 coming on Thursday, possible snow on Sunday. Yeah, that's like what well, I don't think we're gonna hit quite 50 here. It's gonna be warmer, mid 40s in the next couple days, but yeah, we're kind of in the same boat anyways. But we at least have ice here to start with. Anyways, I don't think the couple warm days we're gonna have is gonna screw up too much. It might get a little weak around the shores and stuff, but um, the lakes that the majority of people are fishing on up here right now, anyways, they should be just fine. The ice here in the Dells area has been lackluster at best. Got all the gear staged through. There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do if you're waiting. Make sure everything's all tuned up, ready to go. That's one thing I hate going ice fishing and realize that I'm unprepared for something. Like my tip ups, I go through my tip ups every time before I go out, and yeah, I get out there and I got a tangled mess or something that drives me nuts. That's why I bring like 12 tip ups every time I go fishing. We were just out yesterday. Me and my wife and my father-in-law were same place we were in the fishing video that was pretty lackluster last week. Me and my buddy Evan went out there. Same spot, almost the exact same, location. Pretty much the same holes I used. And me and Evan, we had the one flag, and then the two of his tip ups had too much line on them, and it was unraveling by itself, just falling off the spool. And went to go check on him anyways. I checked the first one, and well, he had the flag. It was a drop right before we got there. Quit spinning, pulled up weeds, whatever. And then the ones that had the line falling off, we decided to check them because we weren't getting any action. And I pulled up a northern on it. Flag didn't even go off. Pulled up the northern. Then we pulled like 30 yards of line off it, and it still happened. And it happened on another tip up too. He actually went to check that one, and that had a fish on it at the end of the day without a flag. So who knows how many fish we could have caught that day. But yeah, so anyways, me and my wife and my father-in-law went out there yesterday. I didn't record anything, um, but we had we got out there like say 10:30. I think by 11:30, I think we had 9 flags, and then a bunch of guys showed up with power augers and started drilling holes all over the place and walking all over out there. And I noticed too, and I've known this is to be a thing for years, that you making a bunch of ice or making a bunch of noise out on ice, especially if there's no insulation, no snow on top. Um, excuse me. It spooks the fish. You can tell you walking to a tip up, and the closer you get, that T-bar starts spinning real fast. That's what was happening to us. And every time we get back to the truck, we get a flag. But if we were standing on the ice, we wouldn't get a flag. And then these guys showed up, and everything kind of went to crap for the rest of the day. But we did have like 9 flags, anyways, in the first hour. And I think each of us caught 2. My father-in-law, I think he might have been a little rusty with it. He doesn't ice fish much anymore, and he missed a couple. But yeah, we got him a couple fish, got me a couple, my wife a couple. It was a pretty good day, anyways, for the short period of time we were out there. So Todd is actually coming up to go do some fishing tomorrow, and I think that's where we're going to start, anyways. Let's see, where'd I leave off here? I kind of got to rambling there. Perry Dunn, smaller lakes have 4 inches of ice. Okay, that's pretty good. It's odd. I mean, these lakes here on the chain that I fish at, they're relatively shallow compared to a lot of lakes. I think the deepest spot on the whole chain of the 5 lakes is probably like 20 foot. Really good fishing and everything. It freezes over faster than 20-acre lake does just outside of town. And these are, some decent sized lakes here on the chain. But yeah, there's a little 20-acre lake just outside of town that takes a lot longer to freeze up than I can't. Well, I mean, even the main part of the lake here is all froze over, so um, yeah, that little lake takes longer for some reason. I mean, it all depends on how the wind hits it and everything. I know that, and the shaded areas to get it started and stuff, but it's just odd to me. They're fishing out here. I don't know how much there is, but the lake was open in spots too. Yeah, that can be a little sketchy. I have fished lakes that have been open in spots. That lake I was just telling you about, that little 20-acre lake. I always had a lot of action out there, so I wanted to get out there. I think it was last year. Yeah, you can have a few inches in spots and still have it open in others, but yeah, it definitely makes you a little nervous. Nor'easter hit the coast, so we didn't get it here in Vermont. Built a Smitty sled yesterday. There you go. How's it going, Wisconsin Outlook? Your stuff is packed, Todd. There you go. what do you want to do tomorrow, Todd? You want to do some jigging, or you want to do tip ups, or? My buddy just got a hold of me a little bit ago, the one that I usually ice fish with, and he asked me if we were good to go tomorrow too. And I told him, yeah, I got another guy coming, so he sounds like he's going to be here about 10:30. We usually tip up fish, especially this time of year, anyways, when you can't really get out to a lot of good spots. I'm not going up until there's 6 inches out there. That's for sure. Yeah, that's understandable, Kenny. I know a lot of people. I go out on two normally. This year, I didn't get out until there was four. You know, it really gained ice here fast, um, and I'm getting closer to the. I feel comfortable at three now compared to what I did at two a couple years ago. Getting a little older, I guess, tends to do that. Chains and river sloughs are fast to freeze because of how easy the cold air can settle into them. Small single lakes don't have as much colder air setting into them, and if they're deep, it takes a while to turn over. Yeah. Well, this lake out here, that's still the deepest spot is only 14 feet, so it's not like it's any deeper than the chain is here. Tip ups for pike, Todd. There you go. That's what we'll do then. Won the season's tackle giveaway. There you go. Congratulations, Wisconsin. Yeah, I watched your Q&A video last night too on the pistol bit. That was a pretty good video. Okay, yeah. I got a little bit of minnows here. I don't know how many. I'm gonna have to buy some more in the morning. Um, my water is getting kind of skunky, so I don't know how much longer they're gonna last. I'll probably have to buy at least another dozen in the morning. Let's see. I'm 6 foot, 330 pounds, and I've walked out on 2 inches before, but only when the depth is 3 feet. Yeah, that way when you go through, you're not drowning. Your head's above water. I get that. Yeah, I'm like 6 foot. I'm pushing 250 now. Definitely been gaining weight since I've been off work, and yeah, it's definitely on my mind anyways when I walk out there. Like, yeah, I'm not quite as light as I used to be. Pick up some goldfish from Walmart. There you go. There's actually goldfish in lakes around here. I don't know if that's the reason why, or people using them for bait or what. There's some lakes out off 40 that got some goldfish in them, I've heard. You guys are gonna have to move up north. All of us in here. There's me and then 14 of you guys. I've been the only one out fishing. I have to move up here. And we can all collab on our videos, me and Kenny and Outlook and Peterson. Fish Love Me Peterson, you have a YouTube channel, don't you? We got to get Todd to get one. 280 and choose not to go until there's 4 inches. I might go if there's 3.5. I know the one spot super well, and it's shallow. Yeah, that's the thing too. That's something you always got to have in your mind too. Is that little lake I've been talking about? Was it a couple years ago? We're out there drilling holes. I had like 6 inches of ice, and then another spot I had 3 inches of ice, just like 20 feet away from where I was fishing. And there's springs around. You gotta be aware of these things. Early ice, you really should be drilling holes and checking ice all the time. My buddy, he was out on the chain here same year a couple years ago. Things seemed to freeze weird that year. He was out, and people were driving out at that time, and he found a spot that was like 9 inches, and uh, I think he drilled a spot that was 3 inches, and people were driving. It's not like you're drilling holes or anything while you're out driving. You drive over a spot that's got 3 inches, you're in trouble. Um, some people. I know a guy here on the chain that he drives his Jeep out when there's 7 inches of ice, and yeah, wouldn't be very hard to find a spot like that that's got not enough ice to support a vehicle or a human weight. If you had a channel, YouTube would kick you out. Yeah. Fish loves him. He prefers to be friends with YouTubers. So Todd is going up fishing with Wisconsin fishermen on Wednesday. Is that what you guys are going for too, Todd? Is pike up there, I assume, since you just packed tip ups? Guy I talked to was fishing near here last weekend on 2 inches. There you go. Just like the people named Dave. Um, oh, pistol bit versus laser. You guys doing races? That's the plan. I want to stock up on pike because down here in the Dells, they have a slot size and you can only keep 2 a day. Okay. Yeah, here, anyways, it's pretty much standard across the board, 26-inch minimum, unless you're on the river, then you can keep them any size. We'll catch some hammer handles tomorrow for sure. Hopefully, something with some size. I've been seeing a lot of quality pike being caught here in the last week off the chain, so I'm trying to stay optimistic that we can catch something decent. I've just been using little shiner minnows. If we used big suckers or something, we'd have a better chance at a trophy, obviously, but we wouldn't get half the flag. So, and a big pike will bite a little shiner too. So that's why I like using those. And bait, it seems to vary in price this year from bait shop to bait shop. I've bought minnows twice now this year, and the one bait shop was like 550, I believe. For it was 10.55, so it was like 5 and a quarter basically for a dozen small shiners. Then the other bait shop, that was like 7.50, so it was like $2, 2 and a quarter difference from the two main bait shops here in town. Anyway, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Normally I pay 14, 15 bucks for 2 dozen, so that's about 7.50 a dozen. So the one bait shop seems about right on with the price, and the other one seems like it's a little cheaper this year. Yeah, I was thinking about bringing the ATV on the ice, but you hate to be the guy that breaks through. Yeah, we were out yesterday, and there was a guy trying to drive he was quite a ways away, a few hundred yards. I couldn't get a good look, But there was a guy trying to drive a four-wheeler on the lake we were fishing on. So there was like 6 inches, 5, 6 inches out there yesterday, which is enough to hold an ATV, really. But just crazy to see that already because like a week ago there was almost no ice, and it hasn't been cold. We've been in the mid to upper 30s for a high every single day, so it's not like it's building. It shouldn't be building a ton of ice, but it is building. Used to know a guy like that, Kenny. He drove with his door open. Yeah. Ian Fish let me. Went fishing on Castle Rock last season, and we raced electric augers at the end of the day. Who won? Yeah, here in the Madison area, here in Madison, you are required to have floats on your ATV on the main lakes. Okay. They changed the size limit. Too many of them. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of pike up here, but I wish there was a way to get some bigger ones. I mean, it seems like throughout my life I catch a lot of little hammer handles, but very few decent ones. So I mean, on this chain, anyways, I got another lake that I catch some bigger pike at, but a lot of hammer handles, and it's not like people are really keeping them. I know pike aren't the most popular fish to eat for whatever reason. I think it's because of the Y bone. Really, they're excellent fish to eat, but a lot of people don't keep them. A lot of people don't target them really either, unless you're ice fishing, and then people are just like, put out tip ups, and then they catch them. That's the main thing you're going to catch on a tip up if you're using minnows. So yeah, it's not like they're really targeted specifically. I wish they were the size and stuff was more regulated. Whether we need to get rid of some with no size limit for a while, or we need to change the size limit to something. I know there's some lakes around the Madison area that's like 40 plus. They gotta be before you keep them, and they got great fishery down there. So maybe that's the idea. I have no idea. Bait prices can vary based on who the distributor is. So they're probably getting bait from two different. Yeah, yeah, that could be. That's a big difference in price, though. I'm definitely know where I'm going to be looking for my bait. Maybe it's just who knows, but the ice is so late this year compared to what it has been the last couple of years that maybe they're looking to move some bait in a hurry, so maybe they lowered the prices a little bit at one place. Who knows? My ATV will hold up on 5 easily, but I'll wait till at least 6 because ice can vary. Yep. The laser one because the pistol a little bit has to grab first, but once they get going, they're about the same. Okay. Well, I don't think Wisconsin has the center point in his pistol bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. When I was watching the video last night and you showed the blades, I don't think I seen the center point in there, which I'm sure makes a big difference. I have the center point in my pistol bit, but I've never used one without the center point. That's why I waited. I wasn't big on the Eskimo the first year, and then they came out with the center point, and I'm like, well, now I want one, and I bought it just because I'm like, I hate using a hand auger during early ice. I'm gonna use this for early ice. And I fell in love with it. Now I use it the whole season. I used it all year last year. Never used my power auger once. I once was fishing on a lake that had 9 inches, and a guy in a Ford Ranger with a cab blew right across the lake about 100 yards from me. Had to be going 45 miles per hour. I could feel the wave under the ice. Yeah, I've been in situations like that too. They weren't going that fast, but I was out on like 10 on a really deep lake a few years ago, and guys came driving by, and they were going actually fairly slow, and water just splashing up the holes. And they were driving really, probably 30 feet from our shack at the most, and water's just splashing up the holes up to our knees because of that. Got a couple crazy stories that I've done on the lake. Uh, we drove a full size truck with 3 guys, all of our gear, and a snowmobile in the back when we were teenagers on the lake, and that was only 8 inches of ice that day. We did that. You could see the ice just um, rippling, making waves in front of us as we were driving. Then another time, we're out on Sand Lake out off Highway 40, and we drove right across. It's over 100 foot deep. We drove right across and parked out there, and there's one other vehicle out there. He was in a little Ford Ranger, and afterwards, my buddy, I don't know, like a week afterwards, he ran into this guy and he was talking to him about fishing, and he's like, "Yeah, we're on Sand Lake the other day." He's like, "Yeah, were you guys in a full size truck?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You guys are the first person I've ever seen in a full size truck out there." And he's like, "Why is that?" He's like, "That um, ice never gets much over a foot deep out there, and there's springs out there." And he said that about the only vehicle you can take out there is a mid-size. That's about the most anybody will ever take out there, and that's what that guy was driving. And we were out there in a full size, and yeah, we had about a foot of ice. So apparently that guy thought we were crazy, and now I kind of do too after hearing his story. So I haven't been out there since. In Sioux County, 2 lakes have changed their rules on to a 5 pike, any size up to 25 inches, and then a slot between 25 and 35 to be released. Okay, yeah, something like that would help. That's something that, like what we have here on the walleye. I don't think you can keep anything. I don't remember now. You can keep two between 15 and 19, something like that, or 15 and 20. Then nothing between 20 and 22, and then or 20 and 26 maybe, I don't remember, and then one over whatever the slot is. I'd have to look it up. I haven't walleye fished the chain here in a couple years. A lot of people can't take out the Y bone. Yep. Oh yeah, 1 pike over 40 inches on Mendota. We have a slot size. They have to be over 26 inches. Six inches, it doesn't have the center point. Oh, even with new ones, it doesn't have the center point. Okay, I didn't know that. Still use your Eskimo Z71 Shark. I had a Z71, a couple of them. They're a good auger. Well, I liked it when it ran good, but my last one kind of gave out on me. Crank went out of it after 3 years, maybe. Wasn't real happy about that, and I know that was kind of a freak thing that because I've had another Z71 that I never had any issues with. That's why I ended up buying the P1. It's because my Z71 went out and I needed a new auger. Then I bought the P1 and I used that for like 2 years, 1 or 2 years, and then I bought the pistol bit and been using that. It's not bad with walking on glare ice. I put a clip on glare ice video to show. Start a little slower, and then you're good. Yeah, you just got to get it started. We drove a Saturn on 8 inches. Yeah, pike is great to eat. I love eating pike. We usually keep some to pickle it, and you don't have to worry about the Y bone or anything. I didn't do it last year, and I was thinking about saving some the other day. My father-in-law was actually going to keep some. He was going to fry it up, but I've been kicking around the idea of saving some myself for pickling. My father-in-law did hold on to one the other day, and then we weren't really, the fishing kind of slowed down, And then at the end of the day, he just put it back down the hole and swam off just fine. Still like walleye better, but pike is delicious. Saw a bunch of teams drive a half ton with 8 to 10 inches. Drove 50 yards past the cattails, drilled a hole, and yelled for the truck to go back. They're fishing a spot on Saturday, and on Sunday there was water standing there. I gotta figure out a way to get these comments to stay up here longer. They're constantly disappearing on me, then I gotta touch the screen and get them to pop back up. Alrighty guys, that's a half hour for us anyways. If anybody's got any more questions, feel free to shoot away. Otherwise, we're gonna cut her off here and we'll do her again next week. Nothing better than northern cooked on the grill, marinated in Italian dressing. I haven't had it that way. I've had just, regular battered and fried, beer battered. It's good stuff. A lot of people don't like bass either, but I love eating bass. Yeah, pretty good turnout tonight. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, everybody. Yep, see you tomorrow, Todd. Night, Jeff. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping in. Every Monday night, 6 o'clock Central Time, we do these things. So if you're new here, that's when we do them. We're coming out with new videos every couple days. We'll see you guys next time.